The Fallout Season 2 trailer shares a ton about some of the overarching plot points of Season 2, and some of these are pretty surprising. A canon ending for New Vegas was seemingly just confirmed. I guess the house does always win, or maybe not. Our main characters might be fighting each other this season. It looks like things will get desperate in the Wasteland, and it even looks like a new version of the Brotherhood of Steel will be introduced here. The Season 2 trailer opens up with a look at some ghoulified kings. These are existing characters from New Vegas that reside in Freeside, but something changed. Now they're ghouls, and it looks like they're starting to feralize, but still maintaining some of those iconic Elvis movements. And the combat with the kings lets us see this new version of Lucy. That innocent Lucy of Season 1 is gone now. And all of this makes sense. Fallout Season 2 is going to be a story about the creatures of Fallout, mutations and what happens when you get them, and even about survival and revenge. The trailer voiceover explains the main quest objectives of the Ghoul and Lucy in Season 2. Lucy is looking for her dad, Hank in Season 1 fleeing to Vegas, and Lucy is chasing him there. This all after the revelation that he is a member of Vault-Tec and even bombed Shady Sands. Conversely, the Ghoul has spent the last 200 years looking for his family. Seemingly, he lost them shortly after the bombs dropped and has been looking since, which is interesting. 200 years has passed. They would have died of old age by now, so seemingly the Ghoul knows his family survived somehow, or he has some serious copium. The Ghoul's wife was a member of Vault-Tec and was likely in this vault. We don't know exactly what vault this is. There's a few potential contenders in New Vegas, but based off Lucy and the Ghoul's facial expressions here, I'm guessing they traveled here looking for the Ghoul's family, only to find a opened and abandoned vault and are now pretty disappointed. But this might only force the Ghoul to make even tougher choices, as it looks like he's going to be fighting Lucy in Season 2. All of a sudden, this Power Fist scene seems to be a lot more interesting. The theory on this one actually came from official merch that recently dropped with this new trailer. This feels pretty damning, that Lucy is in fact punching the Ghoul, and this actually could make a lot of sense. The Ghoul can't find his family. Maybe after this, they run into Hank, and while the Ghoul does hate Hank, Hank is a member of Vault-Tec, and may be able to help the Ghoul in locating his Vault-Tec wife. And he can get that information in exchange for Lucy. Hank is going to Vegas for something, likely this giant Vault-Tec building we saw in Trailer 1 that many suspect is a Vault-Tec HQ secretly under Vegas, maybe even around Vault 21. A few of the scenes from the second trailer are likely Hank in this building's interior. Some of these may even be flashbacks. We know Vault 21 will be a part of Season 2. In-game, this vault had its lower levels filled with concrete by House. Maybe House was covering up this. In the last trailer, we can see Lucy in this room that certainly looks like a vault. This yellow dress even appears on NPCs in Vault 21, and in the Season 2 trailer, it looks like Lucy is wearing that exact same dress during this scraping scene. I get the impression that at some point Hank captures Lucy, or maybe the Ghoul literally trades her away for info. And then we see Lucy escaping the situation, likely escaping some kind of vault, and eventually working her way back to the Ghoul to enact revenge, which is why she punches him. Or maybe he trades her for chems. It's good Lucy became more of a Wastelander because she is seemingly captured twice this season, as we also see her at this Legion base. In the Season 2 trailer, we can see a big explosion at this base, and Macaulay Culkin, the new leader of the Legion, executing one of his soldiers. I suspect what's happening here is Lucy is captured. Someone saves her, or she just causes this explosion, and as a result is able to escape. This ends up angering Culkin, who takes revenge on this guy, whoever it is. And how she does end up here in the first place is a bit more obscure. We've seen the Ghoul and Lucy fighting the Great Khans in Novak. Maybe the Ghoul tries to trade for more of his Ghoul juice, and Lucy ends up in Legion hands. The Great Khans are known, of course, for their chem trade and do have ties to the Legion. And creatures will obviously be a larger plot point in Season 2. We could see rad scorpions, a big Deathclaw fight, but also mutations with Thaddeus. Last season, this quack doctor injected Thaddeus with something after he hurt his foot, and now he has rapid healing abilities. Now in the Season 2 trailer, this has started to take over more of his appearance with hair loss and even mutations on his body. It even looks like he might be showing the Ghoul what is happening to him in this scene. Originally, it really seemed like Thaddeus was turning into a ghoul, but Fallout really only has one creature with teeth embedded in its skin, centaurs. So to me, it certainly seems like Thaddeus is turning into a centaur. And this might be a central conflict with this new Brotherhood of Steel civil war. At the end of Season 1, the Brotherhood gets cold fusion, enough clean power for a city, and all of this in a compact and easy-to-use size. But obviously something goes wrong here. After getting cold fusion, some kind of civil war is breaking out within the Brotherhood. During this vertibird landing scene, we see who is likely a new high-ranking Brotherhood member. It looks like they're just arriving and meeting some of these characters for the first time and mention a civil war breaking out. It seems like it's already happening at this point. You could see a new Brotherhood flag that's blue with a big X on it at this vertibird landing pad. This being incredibly distinct from the red flags the Brotherhood used in Season 1. So seemingly Maximus and co are the ones to break away from the Brotherhood, potentially due to what was planned with cold fusion, which Maximus now has. We can see Maximus flying in a vertibird with this new Brotherhood member, but the scene is likely just before this one, with the airships firing at one another and something causing Maximus to crash. But it's here that Maximus seems to reconnect with Thaddeus. It seems like Thaddeus is actually in this power armor, and from some of the promo images, it seems really clear that Maximus is also holding cold fusion. Maximus is from Shady Sands. He was born into the NCR and watched an entire city fall. I have to imagine this will come into play with cold fusion and his motives around it. As we'll discuss a bit later, it looks like Maximus may be in this NCR power armor, and this could be a really interesting full circle moment for his character, going back to his NCR roots, and maybe this new branched off Brotherhood of Steel faction ends up working with the NCR. And even a bit later on at nighttime, we can see that Maximus and Thaddeus are still together, explaining what they've been up to. And this too is likely to push Maximus in a certain direction. The Brotherhood hates mutants. That seems like it'll be a really big problem for Thaddeus in Season 2, and I doubt Maximus is just going to turn him over. I have a feeling Season 2 is going to explore more of the mutating process and people's opinions on this world as they interact with Thaddeus. We're also getting more Quack Doctor scenes, so maybe things are even further explained. Eventually, the Ghoul, Thaddeus, and probably Maximus, assuming he's in this armor, all do make it to Freeside to march and fight someone or something. It looks like the Deathclaw fight occurs shortly thereafter, which does look awesome, but many have also speculated that this could be them marching to save Lucy from Hank in some vault around the strip. The initial stories and objectives from Season 2 for these characters seem pretty clear now, but how they all come together and how these opinions mesh is still completely unknown. We really just have a rough idea of what is going on, and that is perhaps most true when it comes to House and the Strip. A canon ending for Fallout New Vegas may have just been confirmed, and miraculously, the Strip seems to be doing pretty well now. We see House is active post-war, which seriously implies he survives the events of New Vegas. But we also see some upgraded Securitrons. These soldier faces technically only appear after installing the Platinum chip in New Vegas. You can only ever do this with the House or Yes Men ending, and considering it seems like House is still alive, it definitely looks like the House ending is canon, unless this all turns out to be one big fake out, which I honestly suspect it could be. And even further, despite some of the visuals from Season 1, the Strip and even Freeside in particular seem to be doing pretty well right now. It's not totally clear what's happened here. We see Deathclaws, NCR crashed vertibirds, and just death and destruction, but that hasn't been represented so much in Season 2's visuals. And the NCR will be involved in all of this. Here we can see the Ghoul talking to an NCR member at Camp Golf. Something Fallout Season 2 will likely have to explain is the fate of the NCR. We still really have no idea what happened to this faction in the years since New Vegas, but clearly the Ghoul's interacting with them. The NCR seems to know about the Ghoul's military history, likely referring to his involvement in Anchorage, which we have already seen some scenes of in the first trailer. The state of things is still very unknown with the Fallout TV show in Season 2. What's going on with House and the Strip? Are the NCR completely wiped out or not? We can definitely see at least a few members around, and while they do get a power armor, it might be used by the Brotherhood of Steel anyway. And even the Vault Dwellers will come out to play. There are a bunch of scenes of them celebrating, and I think this is around their release from the Vault. Later on in this trailer and from set photo leaks, we've seen the Vault 31 Dwellers do make it out of the Vault in Season 2. I almost wonder if this scene is them voting to open the Vault, and then maybe them celebrating when it goes through. But more is happening in the Vault, because this looks like Norm unfreezing a bunch of the Vault 31 residents. These are Bud's Buds, cryogenically frozen Vault Tech managers loyal to Bud Askins. The steam definitely makes it seem like they're all defrosting. Also, Norm got jacked. This might also explain why Steph is running off scared. She is very likely one of the secret Vault Tech members in Vault 33, and maybe Norm wasn't supposed to do this, so she's running off to tell someone. Oh, and it looks like this is all going down on her wedding day. Beyond all that, there are definitely some further questions and mysteries from this trailer.
Well then, you're gonna need friends. There's a war coming.
Was that Marcus, a fan favorite super mutant from Fallout New Vegas? And even further, what's going on with this mouse? Clearly mutations will be a major plot point, and maybe this all ties together with this mouse and the Enclave and Vault-Tec and even Hawthorne Labs like we saw in Season 1. But either way, at this point, Fallout Season 2 is just a few more weeks away. If you're interested in more content around this all, get subscribed. I have some interesting stuff coming, but at the very least, we'll be getting answers to all of this very soon.